Hey everyone, welcome to the next video. So at this point we went through most of Figma, learning the in and outs of the design and the tools and all the functions for the particular designs that we created and the prototyping. The next series of videos is more around showing you how to invite people to your board, how to export UI assets, keyboard shortcuts, plugins, how to create comments, some final thoughts going forward. So they're pretty short videos. Just to show you how to continually work with Figma as you work with teams and work with others, and how to get more efficient with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at how to invite others and what collaboration looks like in Figma, as well as how to export UI assets like icons and illustrations, and how to inspect code for engineers. So if you go to our file here that we were at, and we can go to, let's go back to our learning page. This is the page where we created our prototype here. If you want to invite anybody to collaborate on this board here, and they'll have access to all of the pages here, pretty much this whole file. All you have to do is go up here to share, click on the share link, and you have two options. You can make them a viewer or an editor. So a viewer allows them to view the artboards. They can get into the artboards, take a look at it. They can look at the prototypes, but they won't be able to change things around. They won't be able to design like we did. If you make them an editor, then they can come into your artboard and they can change things. So they can do pretty much full access to Figma, just like you have it. And for the viewer only, that's a free one. You can invite as many viewers as you want to your board. As you invite more editors, I think you have about 3 that you can invite. After that, you start to pay for the tool. So it's pretty much free for you to use and invite as many viewers as you want to. But once you invite more people to edit your board, it becomes a subscription model. Okay, cool. So you can just go through, invite as many people as you want to. What it looks like when they're in your board is pretty neat. This is one of my favorite features in Figma. So let's say I've went over here. I got a view or an edit link here, and I've added somebody, or I clicked on the view edit here, and let's say I added somebody's email. Let me just put me in for right now. So there's my email, and I send an email out. Whoever gets that email, say it's an engineer, they'll open up that email and they'll have access to Figma on their desktop in an internet browser. They won't need to install software. It will be free for them. They just open up a browser window on their internet and they'll have access to this file like you see here. So I'm in the internet right now, I'm in Chrome, and they'll have access to this file. They can work and design just like we did, but within the browser. And what's really neat is if you're working on your file and this person comes into the person you invited comes into this board, you can see their mouse. So you can see I have 2 A's with purple circles here on the top right. And one is Aaron Lawrence saying it's me, and another one is me as well. But this would be, you'll see more than one of these little profile icons here at the top. And those are the people that are in your board right now working. So if I zoom out a little bit, you'll be able to see my mouse from the other project that I was on. So let me go back over here. And so now I'm in the browser window. I'm that user that I invited. And if I come back to Figma, I can see my mouse here. So I can see the people in my board. I can see what they're doing in real time, and we can collaborate together. So a lot of times I've used this by opening up a screen sharing software or a video call with somebody, and we're on the phone, we're chatting together. We're also working together in Figma. So we can chat, I can talk to this person, I can see their mouse moving, and we can collaborate together. So it's really great. You can send this to product managers, engineers, invite them to collaborate with you, and you could see them and spy on them as they continually work on Figma with you. They can also see your mouse as well, so they know that you're in the board. And another thing that they can do here is, so if you want to continually invite more people into Figma, another approach to this is we just invited somebody into our board, our file here. You can also create teams. So here I have a new project, a new team, and I can press new project here. I can type in a new team name, and I can create a team over here. And within a team, I can invite, I can add boards to this team, and I can invite people to just this team and have a series of boards. So that way I can have my own personal projects and my drafts, and I can have my team projects within my team here. I can also go and invite people to this team. So you can see I have a board here. I have my team. And if I want to invite anybody, I go to members and I can press the invite here and do the same thing. I can invite people to view or edit, and they'll have access to all the boards within this team. I can also do some user management here. I can change people from viewers to editors here. You can see I can downgrade them. And that's where it starts to get into a monthly cost, is if you want to create teams and start adding editors into these boards. Most of the time, I don't really use team too much. I just invite people to my boards here, and I have different people and different boards that I work with. And that's pretty much 90% of the cases, is you're just inviting people through that share button in the top right, and you're adding them view or edit. If you want to get to a larger like corporation, they typically will use this section here, which is creating a team. Okay, cool. Once you have people into your board, if they're engineers, one of my other favorite things about Figma is you can let your engineers know that they can inspect these designs and they can get code attributes. You can also use them as well. So if you come over here to the right where we have design prototype and we have the code tab. So if you tap on the code tab, this is great, and you click on anything here, it will give you attributes to whatever you've clicked on. So you can see I've clicked on this form default here, and if I click on the text, it will show me the position, it will show me the font that I'm using, the font style, the font weight, the font size, the line height. It will give me the letter spacing as well. And they can copy this. They can just select it, Command-C, and be ready to go. It also does another great thing for you, is it shows them inspections. So it shows them the spacing in between the left and the right here of this form. It shows them the spacing from the top of this artboard to the bottom. Same with this button. So anything that they click on, they can get inspection details. So they can come around here, hover their mouse, see it's 104 on this side, 105 on that side. So a lot of times back in the day, we used to have to inspect our documents and do what we would call redlining, what you're seeing here. And these were to inform pixel dimensions and spacing for engineers and help them break down we would break down our designs to help them get an understanding of how our designs are laid out from a compositional point of view. But now we don't need to do that. They can just come in and they can see based off using that code tab what everything looks like. They can click on shapes, see what this width and height is here for this rectangle, what color hex code it is. They can copy these hex codes. It makes it really easy for them to inspect your design. If you invite them as a viewer, they still have access to seeing the code here. They don't need to be editors to get in here and inspect your design. If they want to change anything, then they need to be an editor. So you can invite an engineer just as a viewer, and they have the full functionality that you're seeing right here from the code tab. And they can also go into the prototype as well and click around on the prototype and see how the function is. Cool. So let's go take a look at the next point, which is how to export assets. So let's say I wanted to export this illustration of this boba here. Figma does it very simple. All you have to do is select the icon or the illustration and press, if you scroll to the bottom right here on your design tab, just press the plus button. It has the export. And then it gives you different options here. You can do 1x, 2x. This will blow it up and make it bigger. So if I do 2x, it will make it double the size that it is right now. And it has PNG, JPEG, SVG, PDF. So most of the time when you're implementing for software, you're not going to use PDF. You use PNG for assets that have a transparent background. So pretty much an icon that you need. And you use JPEGs mostly just for photos. So most of the time you're using either a PNG for your icons or what we call an SVG. This is a scalable vector graphic. So if I give an engineer a PNG, that means they have to keep this icon here at this size. If they make this icon any bigger, it gets pixelated. But if I give them an SVG, a scalable vector graphic, that means they can scale it. They can actually make it bigger like I'm doing right now, and it stays clean. It doesn't get pixelated. As you can see, the lines are really clean. So most of the time, we're giving out SVGs for these types of icons. And all you have to do is select the icon that you would like or the illustration that you would like, select SVG, press the export button here. I'm going to put it in my download. And I've exported that. So let's go take a look at what that looks like. So there's my boba tea SVG, and you can see it's here in the top left. Let's go do that again. Let's go grab an icon. Let's grab this boba tea and me icon here. Okay, so press the export, go to SVG here, export logo. Now let's go look at that as a SVG as well. And you can see it here. Let's do it as a PNG so you can see. So let's go ahead and select PNG here, export that logo. And let's go take a look at what it looks like as a PNG. So see how it has a transparent background? Let's go do it as a JPEG. And you can see how it has a white background now as a JPEG. So Figma makes it very simple to export assets. If you select this boba tea drink and this boba tea logo here, you can also export more than one at a time. So let's say I want those as a PNG. I export those, replace the files. It will export both of those. You can see the PNG here, or the boba tea, and the logo here has been exported. Let's say I want those both as one asset. So then all you have to do here is select both the illustration and the logo and right click or press Command G and group these as one element. Then press the export on the bottom right. Let's go ahead and make this a PNG and let's export it. Let's call it logo and T. And you can see now this is one asset. So typically what you're going to want to do is go through your design and export anything that can't be engineered, which would be like this eyeball, it would be the logo in this page. We'd have the logo here. These photos you'd want to export, so let's press the export here and go to JPEG and export these photos. Now you can see the photo here. You'd want to export these little carrots that we made here for the drop down buttons, this check mark. Just by selecting them, you'd want to export this X here. And you just want to go through anything that's not text and colors and or buttons, and just export the icons, the illustrations, the photos. So in this case, you'd want to export this white circle and the map. And there you have it. That's pretty much what you could do to export all of your assets and put them into a folder, and you could be able to implement this application now with the prototype and the assets that have been exported. You can hand those to your engineering team, or you could put it into the website for yourself, and you'd be ready to go. All right, so that covered mostly how to invite others into the board, what collaboration looks like, being able to see other people's mouses, and how to export UI assets and inspect code for engineering. All right, in the next video, we'll go through keyboard shortcuts, we'll look at some plugins, and I'll see you there. Thanks again. Bye.